Hey guys, Dan here. I wanted to take a minute to make a short video to talk about one of my favorite species of sharks to tag, and that is Carcharinus lombatus, the blacktip shark. Blacktip sharks are very common in my area here in the Carolinas. They are probably the most common shark caught by anglers, even if they're not targeting them. They are a very active species in our surf zone of our beaches here, and they're probably the most um, common shark when it comes to scratches and nips during the summertime. I do have a video playing to my left. This is an older video of me and my team out catching and tagging blacktip sharks for NOAA Fisheries Apex Predator Program. It's pretty much the shark that I got my start on. And when it comes to shark fishing in the surf and tagging sharks, they're like I said, they're very common in our surf zone, chasing around whiting and redfish and other fish species that are in the surf. Um, so a couple of things that are really nifty about the blacktip sharks is they're highly migratory. I'm not sure if anybody's seen the videos online, during the winter in Florida when we have these mass schools of sharks and everybody's free. It's always a media firestorm every year. Massive school of shark off the Florida. This is perfectly normal. This is what they do. They migrate, highly migratory. During the winter months, they're down in Florida, Bahamas, Key West, that area. They're going to be down there in the warmer waters. And then during spring, summer, and fall, they will spread out. Some will stay in the Florida waters, and but a majority will go up towards Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, around that area and hang out during the summertime. As you can see in the video to the left, we're just getting some measurements. The tag's already been installed. This is a female blacktip shark. There is our tag, our measurements, and then another video here of us reeling in another shark that we're going to tag here. But so another thing about the blacktip sharks that are interesting is they tend to get misidentified a lot as spinner sharks from people who aren't as when it comes to IDing sharks. It's not an easy thing, but um, because they do jump and spin out of the water, people assume they're spinner sharks. But blacktip sharks do the same exact behavior. Really, not much known whether they actually are jumping out of the water to clear parasites or if it's a hunting or a mating behavior. There's still research being done on that. But when they get hooked, especially on rod and reel, they tend to jump and spin and go crazy. They're actually a very fun shark if you're into catch and release shark fishing for fun. Um, they will make really hard runs on rod and reel up to 40 miles an hour bursts, jumping and spinning during the process. But my main reason for loving this species so much is because they're so migratory. We get a lot of data off our blacktip sharks. In my 15 years of tagging with NOAA, I've probably tagged close to 200 blacktip sharks in the 15 years, and we get a lot of really cool data off of our recaptures just because they're so commonly caught by other anglers. Um, but me personally, I've had blacktip sharks caught um, or recaptured my tag blacktips, in Florida, the Gulf of Mexico, even up north. There was one in New Jersey, which was a very interesting piece of information because they typically, from what we understand, they don't go that far north. So that was pretty cool. But they are a very, very cool species of shark, and we enjoy tagging them and getting data on them. And yeah, so I would recommend blacktip sharks as a sport fish if you are wanting to get into surf fishing for sharks. Um, I wouldn't underestimate them. They will definitely test your gear, so don't go cheap. I would make sure you have a good solid spinning reel that can hold at least 300 to 350 yards of line and enough drag to handle the runs that they do. The best way to catch blacktip sharks is going to be using fresh bait that you catch in the surf. Um, bass fishermen are familiar with the concept of match the hatch. I would go out there with a small rod, catch some fresh bait, and then use that. Obviously, make sure that you're in regulation on the bait that you're keeping, and throw that out for blacktip sharks. So, actually, on the video to my left here, we had a remora on this one shark, and we were kind of educating the public on what the remoras do here. Got some people out here checking them out. So, one of my favorite things to do is obviously educate people. That's the whole premise, facts, not fear. We like to talk to people about sharks and how important they are, and why we need to protect them, and proper catch and release methods when shark fishing. Um, you've heard me talk if you go to my YouTube channel, CFC Sharks, we talk a lot about shark safety and getting your sharks in and out of the water as quickly as possible. But Um, Blacktip sharks are hands down one of my favorite species. People always ask me, "Hey, what's your favorite species of shark?" And I almost always say blacktip sharks. Even in this video to the left now, we're not that's not a blacktip shark, that's a fine tooth, but it was in the footage that I was rolling. So anyway, so yeah, blacktip sharks are awesome fish. They are one of my favorites, and they're super hardy animals. I had the privilege of spending 2 years, 2017, 2018, working with some biologists from our state natural resources on post-release mortality in this species. And they actually did very, very well when done properly. And when the shark safety is taken into account and they are released quickly, they almost all survive the catch and release process. But anyway, so if anybody has any questions about blacktip sharks or any of my tagged sharks that are out there in the ocean right now swimming around, shoot us an email. It's going to be facts not fear pod@gmail.com. I'll put the link in the video description below. And if anybody has any questions about blacktip sharks and their conservation, tagging efforts, or if you're interested in learning how to catch and release this species, I can help you with that as well. So I will always advocate for catch and release shark fishing. Um, there are species that you can keep and harvest that are legal, and I would just check your regulations for your area. Me personally, I am not a fan of sharks. I feel like there's a plenty of better tasting fish in the ocean, more sustainable than sharks. So I'll never advocate for keeping sharks. But if you're interested in learning more about blacktip sharks, or you have any questions you want to ask me or my co-host Emily about blacktip sharks, just like I said, shoot us an email, factsnotfearpod@gmail.com. I'll leave the link in the description below. Video here on my left is my 15-year-old nephew hooked up to a blacktip shark. This was a pretty cool day. He just got a new rod and reel combo, and just a couple casts in, he hooked into his first blacktip shark, and it's definitely a good fun fight. Got to test his gear out a little bit, and yeah, it's a great fish. I can skip ahead a little bit so you guys can see what he ended up catching. This is a really nice blacktip shark here. Let's go ahead and pull it up so you guys can see it. Here we go. So a very nice female blacktip shark. Interesting thing about this shark, this blacktip here on my left was actually captured and tagged by somebody else, but the tag location was not in a great spot. It was a little low, more on the belly of the shark, which is not where you want it. So we do end up removing the tag from this species. We did document and then replacing the tag with a fresh dart tag from our tag collection. So anyway, thanks you guys for hanging out. This is kind of just a short form little video. I wanted to chat about my favorite species of shark and the work that we've done in the past with them. So if anybody has any questions about blacktips, just like I said, shoot us an email. I'll link it down in the description below, and we'll answer it on the next episode. So we look forward. Me and Emily are going to be recording our first episode of the podcast coming up tomorrow. It's going to be recorded. I'll probably have it uploaded by Monday night or Tuesday. And we look forward to starting our series where we talk sharks and shark research. So guys, stay tuned, and we'll see you probably Monday or Tuesday with our first full length episode with me and Emily talking about sharks. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a good day.